Well, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Thanks for logging on to this quick update here. Active weather returns to our forecast this week. We're starting off with a pretty mild day around the area. In fact, your Monday not going to be bad at all. Temperatures flirting with 90 degrees around the area, and it's going to be a mostly sunny sky. Might see a few high passing clouds from time to time, and there is an isolated shower chance but I think really it's only going to be about a 10% chance. 99% of us are going to stay dry. Really going to be a pretty beautiful but hot start to your Monday around the area. Now, after this, daily rain chances are going to be around the area, and that's because what we have is a front that's in our area, and we're just going to have multiple fronts move through. Put this in motion, you'll see exactly what I have. There's a warm front there stationed to our south. That starts to lift through the area tonight, and as it does, there is a very, very small chance that, a 10% chance or so that we could see a shower off of that. But it's going to be mostly a dry front. It passes off to our north, but it brings the muggy weather back with it. And then by tomorrow morning, we're going to come into those rain chances as some waves of upper level energy move over us then. Notice, though, this cold front is starting to draw a little bit closer to us, and by the time we go into your day 3, which this is out for your Thursday, there's the cold front drawing near to us. Thursday, we could have the risk for some stronger storms, possibly even some severe storms. We'll have to keep an eye on that. The Storm Prediction Center does not have anything outlined for Thursday yet. Their maps just say predictability too low. In other words, they agree that there's going to be some severe storms somewhere, but they don't have an area that they can outline to narrow it down to yet. I think that's a pretty reasonable bet at this point. So we'll keep in mind, keep an eye on that as this front approaches. And then watch this. By the time Friday comes, the front is through. Saturday, though, and notice it kind of stalls out to our south and becomes a warm front here again on this. And then by the time Sunday comes, it lifts to the north again, and then Monday it's coming well to the north of us, and that's basically with this front just sort of playing around and teeter-tottering around us. That's going to give us pretty much an active storm chance the next few days. Future radar doesn't really show much of anything here. This is the high-res NAM, doesn't really show much of anything for us today. Again, just, a very, very small chance with that warm front as it lifts north of something today, but I think 99% of us are going to stay dry. The focus of the rain out today will be more with the other front that's out towards Iowa. In fact, they could be some pretty strong storms there off of that. By the time that dies down overnight tomorrow, we've got a wave of energy that'll move through that could spark off some thunderstorms in our area tomorrow. It doesn't look overly impressive on future radar at this point, so we'll only run with about a 30% chance. Again, we can't always look at future radar, folks. We have to look at the spin in the atmosphere, the upper level energy, because future radar in this pattern just about virtually useless. And so what you see here is a measure of spin. We call it vorticity. And this helps us to know where the pieces of energy in the upper levels are going. And, when we see these good pieces of energy, we know that there's some better rain chances. Not a whole lot going on around here today. There's just really no energy over us. That's going to keep us pretty much high and dry for the most part today. You do notice, though, down to the south in Kentucky, there is some energy, and that's going to start to move over us a little bit, but not that much. As you see, there's the warm front lifting north, and it has some energy associated with it. And so again, tomorrow morning, with a little bit of that energy around, we could possibly see some showers and some thunderstorms with that. We'll run with about a 30 or 40% chance. Not a huge chance there. Again, notice this vorticity back off in Iowa, and that's where the severe weather will probably be later today with that line of storms. And notice the good vorticity on that. Is it possible that that line of storms doesn't die off tonight like future radar shows? Yes, that's very possible. In fact, last week we had several times where future radar showed a storm complex. We call them an MCS, a mesoscale convective system, and then the future radar would say they'll die off, but you know what? They survived all night because of the pattern we're in. Got good vorticity all night long according to this. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up surviving into the night and becomes a problem on Tuesday morning for somebody. With the way it's positioned here, I would say the better bet for them would probably be central to northern Indiana for us, but we'll keep an eye on that later today. That could affect us tomorrow, but again, I think the better bets are up to our north with that. And then we'll have some vorticity around there again on Wednesday night and then into Tuesday night rather, and then into Wednesday as well. And what you see here, we're starting on Thursday with more moving in, and I just wanted to show you this and notice that just wave after wave of energy is moving in. In other words, we're going back into a very active weather pattern this week. It's going to be what we call that northwest flow. That's going to produce some showers and storms nearly daily around the area. Not everyone's going to get hit. It's going to be hit and miss kind of storms, but some people will get really wet and some people may not get much of anything. It's just going to be nature, the beast, as we head into this week. But active weather is returning. All right, folks, Here is your forecast, and by the way, that active weather is going to stick around for a while the way things look. We stay pretty much dry today with a high around 89, only around again with about a 10% chance. Something very isolated. Tomorrow, we'll increase it to some spotty shower chances at about a 30%. That increases to 50% on Wednesday. By the time you get into the Thursday, we've got about a 70% chance of rain. And then after that, well, you've got some nearly daily chances. An isolated storm possible there on Friday, better chances Friday night. But then on Saturday, Sunday, Monday next week, you've got isolated storm chances really with this. And you notice you don't really cool down off that much. Your temperatures are near 90 to the upper 80s around the area. So it's still going to stay fairly warm. And we've got a very active weather pattern coming up. And that's just the way it's going to be. Stay tuned for more this week to Southern Indiana Weather on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at SouthernINWX. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great work week, folks.